Now when Isabella's room is done, we have the opportunity to start a new project. And Carl put up a poll, I think it was on our Patreon site, and we had a few different smallish rooms that we're thinking about renovating, and we decided to do 2 rooms at the same time. So I have chosen, because this is going to be a little his and hers kind of project, and you'll understand why shortly. I've chosen to start with a room that is just next to the dining room, and it's currently where we store all of our, all of our decorative items that we use to change the dining room for the different seasons. So it's vases, candle holders, all the Christmas stuff, tablecloths, napkins. I also want to hang all the dried flowers in there. So let's have a little look how it looks right now. And it's in this little corner. And it's not in here because this is our secret door into our extra pantry that we did, I don't know, half a year ago. It's not that one because it's the one here instead. I mean, it's a magnificent door, so you would think that this leads into a great salon or something, but no. But it's one of the most important rooms of the house because this is where all the decoration is right now. Yeah. Probably you can see that this could really need a little revamp. I mean, we've tried to sort this room out a couple of times. Moa has helped me, and every time she's gone, I put in more stuff in here on the floor, and yeah, we need better storage in here. We obviously need to clear the space out before we can really start planning how we want the layout to be, which means that we need some boxes and some wrapping, and we need to start to clear the space out. So let's do that first. Yeah, I thought since we're in the stable to get some boxes, you never know what you can find in here that you could actually use for the flower room. And this is old equipment from the restaurant kitchen, and I'm standing by a really nice stainless steel countertop that has sort of a flip extra countertop thingy here on the right hand side, and underneath is actually like a heating cabinet. I guess it was to store some food before it's being served. And I mean, it's still a nice cabinet. It has some shelves.
It's super hard to fill.
Yeah.
How did you get in here?
Yeah, I don't know actually how I squeezed myself into this mess. But you know, maybe this is something that could be used. It still has a great countertop and stainless steel, and you know, working with soil and maybe repotting some indoor plants. Stainless steel is the best. So yeah, let's think about that and see if this is something that could be used. We also have a lot of these stainless steel trays that has been used for food previously, but I mean, if these are filled with soil, that is so much easier for me to pot on plants and ta-ta! Good things to reuse. And over here is a little plate shelf.
Yeah, shelf.
Maybe that could also be used for different knickknacks. And I mean, we could hang stuff on this little thingy as well. So it's always a good idea to look around in your garage, or in this case, the stable that we have, and see what we can reuse. And over here is a little kitchen island that if we put on 2 extra wheels, it already has 2 wheels. This is a great little kitchen island that could be put underneath the countertop and then taken out when you need extra space, maybe to do a floor arrangement or something. Love finding stuff that we can reuse to just do this in a cheaply nice way.
1, 2, 3, 4, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Is this working? Is this working?
Hey folks, good to be back. So today we're gonna make one of our family recipes, or rather our only family recipe, which is lasagna. So a lot of different families and cultures have their versions of it. You have an American version of a lasagna, and then you have an Italian. This is gonna be our own. So there's gonna be anything traditional about it. This is just how we like to do it, and I'm gonna take you through the process today. One of the key things that we need to start with is making the meat sauce. So you could say it's a bolognese, I think is the closest abbreviation, because we use minced meat and not whole beef, so it's not a ragu. But we're gonna start off with a sofrito. So I prepared this ahead of time, which is just carrot, celery, and onion. We're gonna sweat that off in a bunch of olive oil, and then we're gonna go in with garlic. We're gonna go in with a couple spices. We'll get to that later. We're gonna start off with some pancetta. I wanna build a good base. So I usually start off with some pancetta, cold pan, render out all that fat, those good juices, gets the bits crispy as well. We're gonna start there, and then we'll take it from there. Now that we've rendered out all of the fat from the pancetta, we're gonna go in with some mince. This is 50% beef, 50% pork, which just gives it really good moisture because you get a lot of that fat from the pork. We're gonna go in with that, fry it off, get some good color on it, and then we'll move over to the vegetables. Now that the meat has browned, we've got some nice coloring on it, we wanna go in with our vegetables, which is, in this case, it's a sofrito because it's Italian. So, you know, the French, they have their mirepoix. In Creole cooking, you have your Holy Trinity, but we're gonna use a base of celery, onions, and carrots. So that's just gonna go right in. There we go. The sofrito has now sweated down a little bit, so we're gonna go in with some onions. It's also flu season here. I've been out with the flu for a week, so we're gonna get a lot of garlic in. It's gonna help us boost our immune system, or at least make it feel like we're boosting our immune system. I don't know if it actually does something, but hopefully it does. Next step, we're gonna add some tomato puree, or tomato paste. So we're just gonna add a dollop of it, and then we want to cook that out, get those deep caramelized tomato notes, so we get a good base of umami flavor in our sauce. Now, I told you guys in the beginning that there's nothing traditional about this lasagna, neither is it with this sauce, so we're gonna do what I like to do, which is add a bunch of thyme and rosemary, because I think it adds nice depth of flavor and contrasting a bit towards what you would get from like a basil. Plus, we do have pork in it, which goes lovely with some rosemary. So we're gonna add that to the sauce. We're gonna add some crushed tomatoes to our sauce here. Once we've added the crushed tomatoes, I'm just gonna go in with some stock. So I have some beef stock over here that we're just gonna add that, bit of salt and pepper, and then we're just gonna let it hang out, do its own thing for as much time as possible. While the sauce is doing its own thing, we're gonna make a bechamel sauce, you know, your classic French white sauce, so one of the mother sauces. So that's just gonna be about 100 grams of butter, melt that down, and then we're gonna make a roux with some flour. So we're just gonna cook out the flour until you get rid of that raw floury taste. Then we're gonna add milk bit by bit till you get the consistency that you like, and then in the end add salt, pepper, and then nutmeg. Key thing is nutmeg. Otherwise, it's not gonna be our family recipe. It's not a lot, but it hinges on this thing. Now that we've made the roux, so we've added butter and some flour, we're gonna go in with milk. So you can just add it bit by bit, so you don't go in all at once. Then you cook that out until you get the consistency that you like and the desired volume.
So usually when they lower the ceiling, it's for a good reason. And in this case, because the house is 255 or 6 or so years old, a lot of people have been here before us to try and connect water to kitchens and the bar island upstairs and various bathrooms. And there are radiator lines going throughout the house as well. And what I'm seeing on the camera, which is difficult to show you guys, is that probably we do have some water lines running up in the ceiling, meaning that unfortunately we can't remove this to raise the roof, so to speak, which would have been nice. So we have to make do with what we got, which is this. But we can make that nice too. Obviously get rid of the existing lights and put in something a bit more nice. So this is a space that you have never seen us in, and to be honest, we haven't even been here before. We've been in the room, but the room has been filled with stuff, so we haven't been able to.
I've never been in this corner because there's always been stuff. We bought this place with things in it, so I've never seen this corner.
We're standing in new corners. What a treat. No, joking aside, the room is now empty, hence the echo, which is good. Mm-hmm. Not the echo, but that the room is empty. And so now we can actually take some measurements of the room. We can put that into first, I guess, an iPad sketch.
Yes.
Your software of choice, and just sketch out the ideas of the layout of the room.
I have a Pinterest folder that we should go through. I already have some ideas. I mean, we obviously have a bit narrow space on this side, so I guess it's not the perfect space to have a wide kind of countertop that was in here before, because that made the opening here a bit of a tight squeeze. So we have other corners and areas that's better for that.
Yeah.
Now we know we can't.
We can't raise the roof, or not the roof, the ceiling. And I have to figure out what to do with all the electronics and
internet.
We have hi-fi, we have security, we have Wi-Fi, home hubs, smart hubs. We can, a lot of stuff.
I think we can come up with some ideas where to put that. I would like to keep this because this is the only heating that we have in here.
See, hi-fi is never a good idea. It's never a bad idea, I should say. Heating and music.
Yes.
It's not love. Okay, so let's get sketching basically.
Good, let's do that. It could be quite hard to understand exactly the vision that we have for the flower room. The room is quite small, as you can see, and I need to start sketching in order to know exactly what I can fit. We know that we can't raise the ceiling, which is a bummer, because I had a little idea about putting some netting or some kind of grid up in the ceiling where I could hang dried flowers, but I need to rethink that. But I have some ideas. So I guess let's fill this paper with a little sketch on what kind of layout I'm thinking of. The room is like 2.3 meters times 1.8 meters. And then there's a little meter down here, a little nook, and then the door comes and the door opens outwards, which is good for this space. Then I have almost like 30 centimeters to the left hand side, and that's a good space for shelves, so that's what I'm going to use here. And then I have a little thing there. So I guess the space looks, yeah, a little bit like this. And previously, the previous owner put a 60 centimeter countertop on the left-hand side, and that really took up all the space in the door. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna put shelves somewhere on this side. And then it feels very easy to do countertop in an L shape like this. And we have water coming up around here, which means that this is a good space for the kitchen basin. And we have one that we haven't used in a previous home that's just being stored somewhere. So we could actually reuse that. And I guess this countertop on each side could be in oak or some kind of other wood. But on this side, I think I found the perfect stainless steel countertop, and it has some brackets for some kind of drawers. So that means that we have good space in this L shape to do some kind of project. And then on top, we could put shelves as well. Maybe these could be 20 centimeters deep. So we have some different depth. Here we have 30. Okay, so that's like the top view. Let's see how this looks in elevation. So if we have a look on this wall where the sink is, it would look something similar to this. This is the sink, so it will be underneath here. 2 basins. And then shelves on top, on the wall. And this is the stainless steel one, the storage unit, which is over here if you have a look on that side. So the shelving continues on both of these sides of the walls, and this unit right here is this one, which is the stainless steel one. And if we have a look on the left hand side here, I guess we could put shelves all the way on this wall as well, and maybe even down below the countertop. And what I would like to do underneath here is just to put a little nice rail and then put some kind of curtain underneath, because this is great storage for whatever large item that we would like to introduce into this room. It could be the kitchen island on wheels, or large, I don't know, things that just can't fit anywhere else. It's smart to have this very flexible area underneath the sink area, because on this side it's more of a drawer kind of look. And these drawers are perfect for potting soil. If I want to do some repotting some plants, which is one of the things I want to do in here. I would also like to dry plants like flowers, and I think instead of putting a grate in the whole ceiling, I could add a little rail on top here, which means like it would hang over here. Wow, it is tricky to draw and film at the same time, because then they can hang on top of the this workspace area without like being in the way. So it will hang here and here. I can store them there. What else do I want to do in here? Well, of course, I mean, all these shelves are going to be used to put vases. I have numerous vases of different sizes. And I have, of course, what else do I have? I guess I have a lot of these candle holders in either brass, wood, some kind of other metal, porcelain, and I change the scene around the dining room table over during the year. So I want to be able to pull out maybe all the brass, and then I want to put them back, to take out all the glass vases or something and do an installation on the dining room table. So I think this space is going to be fantastic for a lot of storage, and it's going to be space that is just mine. And now when we have the layout kind of roughly sketched, but I think, yeah, it's doable. We should talk a little bit about material and colors. And I know that for the floor, we're gonna put a limestone, because this is leftover limestone that we have used in the kitchen before. And it's a lovely natural material. It will probably stain if you put lemon or something acid onto the floor, but who will? And you know, it doesn't really matter. We really like material that ages well, and I think this is a good example of that. So limestone for the floor, and they're going to be 30 times 30 centimeters in a checkered grid. Now for the colors, I think I'm going to go a little bit different in here, because we have used a lot of other colors, favorite colors in various projects, and I don't want to do the same colors again, because I want to explore new colors. And this time, thing is, I'm trying to find the right color here in my office, in the atelier, and I can't really find a good example of it right here. So I need to show an inspirational picture, and it's an olive green that I am really looking forward to try out. I've had my eyes on this olive green before, but haven't really found the suitable project. But I think the flower room could be a really good project. I would also like to try not to do a matte version of this color. I would like to go glossy. I just think it looks so cool. I mean, you've seen that on the inspirational pictures from Pinterest, and it looks stunning. So let's try something new, okay? Olive, glossy. Perfect. I might have found olive green among all of my textile samples. So maybe something like this for all the woodwork. That would also be on the walls behind the shelves. So we would dip everything in this color, even the ceiling. But we do have a little fabric that we need to find out what that could be. And I just saw this lovely color. It's kind of a turquoise. And I think that adds a little coolness to this warm olive. And I think that would work well with this as well. So yeah, it's not a pink color, but it is a color that we can get some inspiration from when we're trying out the paint colors for the woodwork and finding the right fabric. And when I do warm color schemes and I'm choosing a metal, I tend to go with a cold metal if I do a warm color. So I would go with chrome or nickel, like this one. And that is for the rail, for example, on top, where I'm gonna hang all my dry flowers. or it's gonna be on other small details and hooks and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's gonna look pretty nice. And that's a wrap for this episode. I'm gonna hang out with my textile samples for a little bit longer, see if I can get some more inspiration. But for you guys, I would really love if you could subscribe to our channel and like, and you know, the bell button and all of that. And have you seen the little hype button that I just saw on YouTube? Try to push that. It really helps small creators like us to keep on being motivated to create some nice videos for you guys. So see you next week. Bye.